Hello and welcome to 2ROLLY Rollidays. Hey, hey!
I seriously cannot get this hood on. My buddy, why? There we go. Yay! Pretend it was like that way from the beginning.
As you can see, this is not a normal episode of Eye on the Storm. Nay, it is a holiday show match. Our fourth holiday show match, to be exact, but the second Trollidays, making it 2ROLLIDAYS, if you will. I will stop repeating that over and over again, even though I think it's hilarious. But, as usual, we are here to present to you a show match. And that show match will be all sorts of trolly in that we will have crazy rules that we have to use while casting said show match, and there will also be crazy rules put on the teams who are going to play.
Yeah, the crazy rules that... Can you hear that?
Yes.
It's just my dog making a bed for himself. Nobody minds it at all.
He's getting ready to take off.
He is. He's got lots of presents to deliver to
right.
good boys and girls. And speaking of good boys and girls, we've got some two teams who will be helping us out and will be casting their game. We have our friends from Lotus and Panda Global, who will be playing in this show match. So first of all, please follow them on social media, give them a shout out, tell them thank you for what is about to unfold. And that is that. They had to each play on, I believe it was Dragonshire, correct?
Mm-hmm. Dragonshire, aka North Poleshire. Where Dragon Claws awaits to give fiery presents to little boys and girls.
Sort of like an old school Santa, Dragon Claus is.
Yeah. Have you been naughty? Have you been nice? He might turn you into a lump of coal.
Whoa!
This like the Krampus.
Yeah. Yeah. Krampus Claus, Dragon Krampus.
Dragon Claus.
I don't know. We didn't put much thought into that beforehand. I don't know.
That's our downfall.
Yeah.
Curveball.
But in case you're wondering who we are, I'm Anna and this is Gilly. We are the normal co-hosts of Eye on the Storm, and this is Defebwar, who you've probably seen as a guest host often on Eye on the Storm as well, and during our play sessions, and she is going to be our moderator. Hello, Deb.
Hello. I'm ready.
So Deb will be giving us all sorts of crazy rules that we have to cast with. And our players had to play with 4 random heroes and 1 Murky each.
Murky the elf and his 4 random reindeer?
Reindeer is what I was gonna
random
say, yeah.
deer.
Random deer, yes.
Reindeer.
Reindeer. Yes, and we are in fact casting this game from replay because it's the holiday season and everyone is out and about and being good little boys and girls so they can get their name on the nice list before Christmas. But I do not know the outcome of this game yet. I have not seen it. I have no idea.
None of us have seen it, yeah.
So it will be a match for the ages. Shall we get right into it?
I think we should.
All right. Well, we are ready to watch, and I'm excited to see who the random heroes will be that get chosen.
Oh, me too. If there is not at least one Asmodan, I will riot. Hero that seems to always get stuck on somebody. And there they are. Okay, so Akaface is going to be playing the Murky. That's an interesting one. Akaface being the support player for Panda Global.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then Wiz will be Murky on the side of Lotus. And who are they going to have?
Who's it going to be? Nightmare is on Sonya, it looks like, and we've got Toe Jam and Earl on Tychus, Mater on Rainer, and where? Oh, there's Yoda on Brightwing.
Alright, so interesting thing about them is, yeah, their one warrior is Sonya. However, Nightmare does love playing Sonya, so that's, something good in their favor. In Panda Global, they're going to be blue. We do see that funny bunny, Murky. Michael Udall will be on Tyrande. Big impacts on Chin. B-Kid is playing Vala, and Som will be on Sergeant Hammer. So their solo support Tyrande. Another interesting one.
Very interesting indeed. And you know what else is interesting? The rules that we will have to be casting with. I guess that should start now, right?
Yes, it looks like you guys are gonna start with sellout. Turn everything into an advertisement or sponsored by message for Eye on the Storm.
Perhaps Yoda should have looked at a Brightwing build. He could have found one on three episodes or so ago on Eye on the Storm. You can find those on youtube.com/Misscliks.
Yeah, all of these players are doing such a fantastic job, and you know, we've had so many of these players play either in our play sessions for Eye on the Storm. Tychus is going to go down here, but so many of these players on Eye on the Storm. Eye on the Storm is a really fantastic podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. Just as Anna said, youtube.com/Misscliks, where you can find all of our past episodes.
This is, of course, Heroes of the Storm, which is one of the same words as the title of Eye on the Storm, which is a podcast that we do every week on Thursday.
Looks like, wow, Raynor and Brightwing going to pick up Bribe. Raynor, of course, getting Raynor's recruitment. And if anybody wants, speaking of recruitment, wants to do a show on Misscliks, we are actively looking for more shows for Misscliks. Another great show that is on Misscliks, by the way, is Eye on the Storm, a podcast about Heroes of the Storm.
So noob question about replays. I have the little like speed and time thing in the lower left-hand corner. Should I take that down, and how do I do it if so?
I don't know that you can completely remove it. I didn't think that you would have it, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's fine. You guys,
It's Trollidays!
Trollidays! And you know what? Trollidays is part of a series of holiday show matches that we feature on Eye on the Storm, which is a podcast and video show that we do every week on Twitch at 7:15 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Misscliks.
Alright, well, Red Team is leveling up, and if you want to level up your own Heroes of the Storm,
I don't want this to end.
You know, Michael Udall just fell, and in fact, he was on Eye on the Storm 2 episodes ago. You can find his episode, I believe, number 51 on youtube.com/Misscliks in the Eye on the Storm playlist.
Alright, we're gonna switch to Based Blizzard, cast in full reference to Blizzard, our mighty deity and protector.
Dragonclaws is on the rampage, and as you can see, he is such a mighty warrior, just like Blizzard always makes. Such interesting characters with such great powers, and a game developer the likes of which has never been seen, really.
I just have to agree with you there, Anna, and I am checking out Nightmare. I know he's not doing much at present here other than just trying to fight off this Sergeant Hammer. And speaking of Sergeant Hammer, another really cool female hero in Heroes of the Storm, as well as Sonya. Super Sonya just looks absolutely amazing, and she is going to go down to Michael Udall, a really great example of a fantastic player for Heroes of the Storm. Man, I love Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard has really made a great game with this one.
You know, Nightmare falling just reminds me of how Blizzard really does kill my nightmares about esports not advancing, because Blizzard will be sure to make sure that esports advances, and I will have sweet dreams instead of nightmares.
The Dragonite has now ended, but you know what will never end for me is my love for Blizzard and my love for right here. It's so fantastic. Bribe's going to be used, and Blizzard never has to bribe me to get me to play their games. I happily play them and enjoy them. Thank you, Blizzard.
You know, we are having a meeting here in the center lane, and that's just like the meeting we have every year at BlizzCon, a place where we can talk about our community and share experiences. One like Raynor being taken down, we can all really share in that moment together.
After might be going down here, but Brightwing is going to come in and try to save him, and you know, there are so many times that Blizzard games have saved me from boredom, from unhappiness, and Yoda, you know, Yoda is going to not be able to save Sonya here, but I know that he would have tried just like Blizzard always tried to do, saving us from boredom.
Speaking of Yoda, the Force is with you. Cast everything in Star Wars parlance.
Oh wow. Well, we do have Nightmare dual-wielding lightsabers here as Sonya going into a spin and really using the Force to do a lot of damage, but is going to have to back out as Nightmare does feel the dark side of the Force flowing through him and needs to meditate.
Big Impact really just drinking like he's at a cantina almost, right in front of everybody. I can almost hear the do 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 do. That's to be my ringtone, so you know it's very perfect. Just gonna be drinking right in full force of everybody around there while they try to take out Tom.
You know, we have had multiple partial takedowns because we do have 2 Murkies on the board. You know that when you strike Murky down, he does become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. That is what he can do for his team on the board.
A lot of people are going to die here, but they will always be part of us in the Force. And that's another thing to remember, as well as the fact that they will indeed also be up in about 15 seconds.
You know, in 15 seconds, that is when the Force awakens for, you know, most of Panda Global, as they have been, unfortunately, stricken from the face of the Earth. We did see kind of a Jedi massacre going on there, but it looks like we will see the First Order and the Jedi Academy trying to be established here in the mid lane, although it's not looking good for Stellar Lotus.
Really great polymorph on that strafe from B-Kid, almost like saying this isn't the target you're looking for. Being able to stop that strafe from killing Right Wing. And it is Yoda, so you know, he is quite the master of those tricks.
You know, Big Impact jumps right in there, and I think Nightmare thought he might get a chance, but his Jedi mind tricks do not work on the strong-minded. Big Impact is there and will continue to pursue.
Of bee walking happening here, and I will tell you what's not a bee movie is Star Wars. These are the jokes, guys.
Blink heal Yoda will do, as they say. Take his heroic he has. We can take a look at those. It looks like on the side of who is that? That is Lotus. We have Leap for Sonya, Blink Heal for Brightwing, Rainer's Raiders for Rainer, March of the Murlocs for Murky, and Commander Odin for Tychus. They have honed their abilities with the Force such that they will be quite powerful Jedi.
Aww.
Hipster mode. Explain why these plays are really the only responsible way to play.
Well, you know, we haven't talked about the heroic abilities yet of the other team, Panda Global. We have Shadowstalk for Tyrande, Octograb for Murky, Storm, Earth, Fire for Chen, Strafe for Vala, and Napalm Strike for Sergeant Hammer. And you know, those are the most environmentally friendly heroic abilities to choose, so I think that's a really responsible choice of them. I'll continue to consume this game.
Hero slain.
Their Nightmare is going to leap in, and you know, a lot of people have been enjoying Leap recently with the coolness that has come in from the washing machine, but I've been prepping that, you know, pumping up that Leap since long before anybody really wanted to use the ability.
It's obvious that this tower is using a lot of electricity over here on the side of Panda Global, and I think it's really great that these knights are standing up and protesting on behalf of Stellar Lotus. The amount of consumerism here is just unacceptable, and it is going to be redeemed.
Michael Udall just killed Wiz along with Akaface, and I just can't condone the killing of fish of any form. I cannot believe that they would do such a thing, and I am appalled. And there is even an Octograb as well, and the use of tentacles in that fashion just to me does not seem in the best interest for the environment.
You know, that's what happens when you abuse nature. Nature comes back and abuses you back. And if we're not ready to face the consequences of our actions, then we shouldn't be killing it.
A lot of people dying here.
Sorry, I'm going to change the sound here, guys.
What?
I know that's getting very loud.
One does not simply cast into Mordor.
Ooh.
Gilly, this is your forte.
Okay, the orcs of Panda Global look to be picking up the dragon, and nobody can truly control Dragon Claws. He's a greedy friend who only looks for riches and the destruction of all, but they hope to control him in order to one day be able to capture those riches.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Michael Udall is actually having a little hobbit hoedown and dancing on the dragon shrine. He will take that dragon, and it looks like we're going to have to... I'm not sure what's happening, but
Got rid of it.
has definitely said, "Thou shalt not pass. You shall not pass."
And, you know, Chen was hanging out there as well, and because of that singing and dancing where they were like, "And the only brew for the brave and true," and the dragon, he ended up getting his friend killed for it, and that, you know, now they're gonna have a burial where likely they will put him in a boat with his sword, his chin thing,
Yeah.
and send him down the river.
You know, these teams would really like to take some mercenary camps right now. ToeJam and Earl was kind of sniffing around. Now Michael Udall's looking at these these giants is like, my precious.
Not idly do the tentacles of Murky fall, but they were able to stop that octo grab, and now they've maybe gonna, yeah, Matra is going to go down.
You know, B-Kid is just putting himself in the face of danger, but what a grand adventure he is on.
Home team advantage. Cast in the accent from your home region.
Well, both of our home regions are North America, right?
Yeah, but like the area within that, like local accents from like your hometowns.
Okay, so I guess Oregonians have a pretty like standard accent, but I can go a little like hipster Valley girl. I think that's like the worst that Oregon gets. So like Big Impact is drinking like a microbrew, and I guess it's like, it's pretty good because it's local, so I usually like to drink that like with a few friends while we're
well, I myself would really like to have, this is about how Kansans talk generally, but I'm gonna go a little to the extreme as well. And I would really just like a Bud Light above all else. You can keep your fancy microbrews, and I will stick to my Bud Light, as I'm sure Chin would agree. Now, Matra's coming in with his big guns, and I sure do like big guns here in Texas.
You know, I'm like not really about guns. I'm more concerned with the rising cost of housing in my area, and right now 27.5 kills on the side of Panda Global is just unheard of, and I'm sick of Californians moving in and getting so many kills so that my apartment costs so much more.
Big Impact is just drinking away right in front of this key. Reminds me of my Uncle Billy, who just got caught.
Backstory. Make up the history or fun facts about a player.
You know, Wiz is hopping in a bubble here to try and escape out of the base of Panda Global. He's not going to, just like the time when actually he could not escape from an anaconda while he was on a jungle safari, and actually was almost squeezed to death. He actually has 2 less ribs than a normal person because of that experience that he had.
Psalm is hanging out, just hiding, waiting for everyone to maybe come in, but has a lot of spider mines around him, and that just is actually very reminiscent. Here comes the leap from Nightmare on top of that, and he will go down, and that's probably giving him a lot of fear because of the fact that he once was a dolphin trainer and had one actually leap onto him just in that fashion and start mashing him wildly with its flippers. And so he had to get out of that because it was just so traumatic. So that's hopefully, you know, that Sonya Leap's not going to give him some PTSD because of that.
Yeah, we actually see B-Kid is over here on Vala just kind of running around in the jungle. And, you know, B-Kid is a little bit of a loner after having been raised by wolves, just very much like Mowgli in the Jungle Book. But he did find Murky's egg and was able to take it out, so you will find that his ability to commune with nature really does help him in this game.
Broadway, speak only in song.
Odin is coming in, and it's gonna be some death to B-Kid!
B-Kid, B-Kid, he will be dead, B-Kid will be dead!
He is dead, he is dead. Nightmare is coming in, blue team is breaking all of red.
Yoda, Yoda, we only barely knew you. Yoda,
Yoda, Yoda, oh, as Big Impact is trying to slow him down with the pressure point.
These teams, we think the game is close to over, but it's not. It's not, because these teams, they want to play.
Indeed. Casters overly agree with each other about everything.
Gilly, I would say that, you know, you haven't even said this yet, but I know you're thinking it because you are always so on the money, that Psalm being in siege mode right now over here by his gate is really the best possible thing he could be doing at this moment to protect his team.
Oh, indeed, Anna. He is by himself, but he has taken out those very scary giants. And, you know, I was so indeed not right myself in saying pressure point because he didn't even go with that. But I just think that you have hit the money so well there that you are completely just, you know, going to carry this cast from there.
You know, Gilly, I just could not agree more that he is doing a great job. And in fact, He is continuing to pressure down this lane after having taken the shrine, but this top shrine has been taken by Sonya, and as you mentioned, just the pressure being on Panda Global, you know, they're taking advantage of the fact there is no pressure on them, and they're going to go straight for the core.
Right, you are, Anna. They are at the core, and I could not have said it better. Nightmare actually going to use area Crater to just melt Vala down. But Brightwing is going to go down too, as does Tychus. So a lot of deaths are happening here.
So perceptive, Gilly, they did indeed go down, and that is just the best way I could have thought of to say it. We now have all members of Panda Global hanging out with Core Wiz on Murky, who will do his best to defend the core, but things do not look good.
You're so right. It looks pretty bad here. Wiz is going to get octo-grabbed, going to get taken out by his fellow Murky friend, Akaface, and that would be a full team wipe here. I think this could be the end, and I just have to say, Anna, all of your points so on the money this cast.
You know, Gilly, I could not have done this without you. In fact, I don't think I could have thought of a single word to say in this cast if you had not led the way. You have made it so clear to us the narrative of this game, and I just could not thank you more.
Full of it. Casters try to show off by spouting game knowledge that's totally wrong.
You know, this core is actually very healthy and not in danger at all of going down. Panda Global is in trouble here.
Wiz has completely just as much health, can take so much damage as that Murky, and especially when his egg is down. That makes him way stronger.
Yeah, actually, now we have Akaface as Funny Bunny Murky. He does actually the most damage in the game and is the most resilient. He will not go down.
I see them saying that Red Team has won, which means Panda Global, but I really do believe that in this instance, Stellar Lotus has won the game.
Yeah, in fact, I think you're right. The game is not over, and Stellar Lotus still has plenty of opportunity to make this comeback.
Still my favorite way to end.
Well done, team. That was really fun. Thank you so much to Panda Global and Stellar Lotus. These games are so fun because there's nothing on the line and lots of action. We had an ending of 36.25 to 20.75 takedowns on either side, which means that we got to watch lots of action, and I was the observer there. I apologize for being distracted most of the time by the fun we were having, but we hope that you enjoyed it and that you will stay in touch with us. Let us know what you thought, what kind of content you want to see on these holiday show matches. Let us know what rules you think in the future we should do as well.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear from you guys, and we would love for you to follow the teams and thank them once again for not only playing, but playing and being willing to just, do a fun show match. Please also follow our amazing moderator, Defebwar. Thank you so much, friend, for joining us for this. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me.
Best moderator, NA. I hope you're feeling very cozy over there by our fire. It's just
yes.
Nice and warm. Yeah.
That was like perfectly done. So delightful.
Yes, and don't forget, you can tune in to Eye on the Storm. Our normal episodes involve talking about community events, strategy of the game, guests from the community like pro players, managers, and developers, and we get to talk to them about Heroes of the Storm. Every week we'll share you a specific build, and then we'll play a little bit of Heroes of the Storm to experience what we learned that week. So we hope that you'll tune in. That's every Thursday, 7:15 p.m. on twitch.tv/Misscliks Pacific Time.
And speaking of Misscliks, please shoot Misscliks a follow on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all MISSCLIKS. We have a lot of other really cool shows. We're looking for more shows too. And it's an organization dedicated to uplifting females in the geek and gaming scene. So there are a lot of really cool things that you can watch, like Dungeons and Dragons and cosplay. Correct, Anna?
That Cosplay Cabaret is on hiatus, but it is on YouTube. Okay. You can check that out.
Yes, on the YouTube. And then there's even board games, too, so there's a lot of different content to be able to check out on that channel.
Absolutely. And Gilly, where can people check you out if they want to find more of you?
You guys can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all GillyweedSC2. I, of course, have a couple of shows here on Misscliks, as well as I'm a part of TGN Squadron. So the best way to find all of my content is to follow me on Twitter, where I definitely make sure to post where I'm at. What about you, Anna?
You can find me just about everywhere at Anna Prosser, mostly on Twitter, and my website, annaprosser.com, will take you to everywhere else. I'm on Misscliks at least 2 days a week, if not more, and then also I'm on Twitch Weekly every Friday in the afternoons. That's a new one. It's very exciting. What about you, Deb? Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, both at Defebwar or /Defebwar, depending on the site. And yeah, I'm moving soon, so stay tuned for a completely new schedule in the new year.
Yay! And we wish you the warmest, happiest holidays. Winter Veil, may it be shiny, beautiful, cozy, and luscious.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next week on Eye on the Storm. Farewell.
Thanks. Bye.